July's mystery block of the month is No Place Like Home.
We are so excited to do this block because we love being at home with our families. That's our favorite place to be.
It is.
All right, so to begin, we have quite a few templates in this pattern. So you'll want to make sure that you download the pattern and read all the instructions that require all the cutting for this template.
There is a lot of pieces, but if you take it step by step like we're going to show you, you'll be able to easily do this block.
Yeah, it's a really fun block, and it comes together quick.
And we're using our scraps from our 22 back quarters.
Okay, so we will show you how to create some of these templates that I think is easy in order to trace and get them accurate. It's very important to get every single piece accurate and use a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So the first thing we're going to do is an easy method for freezer paper making a template. So what I like to do is take my template, and you'll have this piece that you'll download which has your little roof here.
In your freezer paper, you just get it your local grocery store, buy the tin foil, and you can use it for quilting.
Right. And you'll notice this side's smooth and this side's sort of shiny, and that's your wax side, and that's what when we press that, it kind of temporarily adheres to the fabric and you can trace exactly.
Makes it easy.
Yes. So what we'll do, and we've already done it here, we put that over our template, and then with a ruler we take and we trace all of these outlines. And I've already pretty much done these outlines, and I'll just do them one more time.
Just so your line's not wobbly and you're getting an exact straight line.
Right, right. And so once you get all of that template on there, be very exact when getting those. We can actually take this, and I don't even think, you can just trim around the outside. And then what we can do is we're going to iron this onto our piece of fabric. Okay? All right. So with our fabric, we'll take our fabric because we're doing this roof piece here.
Great idea for roof, a chevron. Looks like shingles.
Right. And because we have to make sure it's going a certain way, we'll make sure that our chevron's going right. It is a directional piece, so be careful when tracing. And so what we'll do is take it to the iron here and press, making sure we have plenty of room to spare on this piece for cutting. And all you do is quickly iron. It's pretty simple. And then what we'll do is I'll have you cut directly onto this line.
And right on the template
And as
markings.
you can see, that freezer paper just adheres nicely to that and allows you to cut that template. And so on the template pieces, when you're downloading, there'll be an actual cutting line and a sewing line. So what we're doing is we're cutting on the cutting line because we'll sew on the 1/4 inch, which is inside that cutting line.
Last cut. And it does stay on.
It stays
really
nicely.
So
there's your roof template. Now you'll just continue and do all of these template pieces. The rest, so all through this second section right here, these are template pieces. And then the rest of it are rotary cut, which we have measurements on the pattern.
And what's nice when I've done this kind of method before is mark them, and you don't even have to take off the top until you're ready to sew. So it keeps track of all your different sizes.
Great idea. All right, so let's begin sewing. We've already got all our pieces cut out. What we'll want to do is maybe line them up. We want to do this first section right here, which is your background and your 2 chimneys. So that's fairly easy. So we'll line it up, lay it out, and then we'll go to the sewing machine and do that first row. And I'll press and then begin the second section.
So lines up like that.
Exactly.
So I'll just line it up, take it to the machine, and sew one at a time.
All right, so first section complete. I'll press this while you prepare the second
rooftop
section.
Line that up. section. There we go. So to keep these straight, it's probably good to just do 2 pieces at a time.
All right, so this first section's pressed, and I like to be able to press the light fabric to the dark. So both of these seams are facing your dark fabric and hidden inside there.
That. So they go inside.
Okay, so you're
So
ready.
we got this lined up. When you're doing these pieces with different angles, it's probably good to pin where you start.
Right, so you want to make sure that top point where you have your flat roof top here is they're right next to each other, lined up. Now this white section will hang 1/4 inch over, and that's good. That's what you want. The same with this one too. You can do this section at the same time. Well, do this to the white. So do your white sections first. So you're lining up this top one and your white. Do you see how this is?
It's going to hang over.
Overlapping 1/4 inch.
And that's good to remember before you take it to the machine to
So
make sure.
Let's just do those 2 sections, bring them back, and then we'll do the next one. All right, so we have our 2 sections. Flip those, I'll press these, and then we can quickly see.
We'll put it onto our rooftop.
Now these ones go against the rule that I typically have, just because they sit nicer if they're pressed towards the outside. So what we're doing on this side, you can see how they just lay better when they're pressed towards the outside.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is lay this piece here, and we're going to line up and hang. We're going to hang this over. Let's double check that. We want to end up with a 1/4 inch seam up here on your white, so that we can take that in and take up that. You have a nice point right there. So you'll want to make sure that, again, this tip is matched to there, but you'll see that this part is hanging over 1/4 of an inch.
So to make sure we tack that down with a pin.
And then we'll do the same to the other side.
And again, right on the edge. It's going to have a little overhang.
Yeah, so you'll see the seam that comes along here is a 1/4 inch from that point. And as you sew along there, that's going to allow for a piece of white to show. Yes.
Okay.
This is starting to look really great. This is our second section.
So we'll go to our third.
Yes, and you've done a really great job of getting that 1/4 inch right there.
We'll have a nice point.
So I'll press while you lay this out for our last and final section.
Nice bright yellow windows. Got 2 on one side, 1 on the other. Just kind of lay these out, see where they're all going. Oh, I think that's just the opposite right there. We've got 3 short side windows, or walls. There we go.
Okay, good. So within this third section are separate sections to make this easier. So let's just take these blocks that are right here and separate those. So the first thing you're going to do is just sew your little window pieces, which are really simple. The orange to the yellow and orange, and then blue, yellow, blue, yellow, blue. So let's do those sections first.
And just chain piece these and get it done quickly. So we got our blocks. We're just going to chain piece. Got my 1/4 inch guide and just a easy straight stitch. The next one lined up. Get my next one ready to go. Make sure that's lined up. Now at this point, got these 3 all lined up. I'm going to finish this side. Almost done. Just doing the center part of this house. Let's add the other side to this block.
All right, so let me press these sections.
And then we're going to
And then
sew.
yes, so we'll press these, and then you're going to sew each end
On there
so that
like
you're creating these two sections. And then we'll sew this section to the gray and this to that side.
Okay.
And then we'll complete that third section.
So we've sewed our two ends on, and now we're ready to just sew
So
the
the center and
piece.
complete that
Yes.
third section.
Okay, we'll just take
Right.
this and finish the section.
All right. So here Cindy's finished our third section, and you'll notice I'm going to press this. You'll notice how that just the seam lays towards the center, and this one lays into that way. So I'm just going to press it that way. It's
See
better
how
to
it
have
naturally lays.
Yeah, naturally lays better, and everything will come out nice and flat. And while I do that, while I
I
press
can sew
this,
this section.
yes, now you'll want to make sure
This is the top of our
that you
house.
are matching this seam to that point and this seam to that point, so that you end up
with
right here. So you want to take in all of that 1/4 inch. Now I like to go a hair above that point so that you can see that full point and not cut the top off straight. Okay, so
I'll
you can
fold
pin
over,
that, match those
line
seams.
that up,
Yep.
and I'll take it to the machine and put it together.
All right, so Cindy has done a great job of matching, and you'll notice that we have nice points there. So I will press this, and you'll notice again that it actually seems like it'll press this way so we don't have that seam showing through here. So let me
put
press
that
that, and then we'll get ready to place this piece
Our last
on there.
piece. And then we'll just check our measurements. We want a finished block 12.5 by 12.5
Yes.
to add to our other blocks.
All right, so here we go. We'll put this up here. Now again, you're going to match this seam right here to this seam right there. Everything else should just fit in nicely, and you should have a 1/4 inch on each side to be able to take that in.
So I'll just pin that
So match those up.
right there. Okay, we'll finish up.
All right.
That
Look
looks
how
great.
cute. Let's press this seam so it's going down towards the house, the bottom of the house. All right, so here you go. Here's your block. We're going to square this up
Yeah,
to
you'll have little tails sticking out.
12.5 inches. I like to line it up along the bottom here and along the side here at our 12.5 inch mark. And we'll just square that up nicely.
And you'll notice you should have a 1/4 inch on each side of your rooftop. So just check that, make sure you're not trimming off that point.
And you'll notice there's a few places where it's not exactly perfect, but we'll be able to fudge a little bit as we
And work it
piece
in.
all those blocks together. So really, if you're seeking, our ultimate goal is to seek perfection in quilting, but we could drive ourselves crazy.
Yes, we could.
So I'll just do this one last side, and then we'll be completed. And right, your
Okay,
block turned
looks
out
great.
great.
Well, we hope you enjoy making our July block of the month. There's no place like home.